Wow. They're really coming after me. Every time I put Stephen A. Smith's name into the conversation, they come with a complete sabotage against me, period. Now, everybody's heard the reports yesterday that was out that he cussed out Stephen A., called him an MFer, and everybody was all up in arms like, whoa, that's what I'm talking about. Get him. So now when they hear that, all of a sudden, everybody's attitude changed. Everybody's attitude changed. Everybody and their mama attitude changed. Now, Cino know what he talking about. Cino, you're right. Cino, I knew this was gonna happen. Cino, you called it. But YouTube want to sabotage my views. What's up with that? Where does that make sense? Look at what the views are today and tell me, does it make sense? It don't. Straight sabotage mode. All because I mentioned Stephen A. Smith's name. Now you tell me there ain't a go along, get along game. All day I've been sitting here fighting this thing. Trying to see what in the world is going on here. They don't want the truth out there. They want to live in la la land and spread these lies. Stephen A. coming out. I want to address this situation outside of my apology, my statement I made on ESPN. Pat McAfee and Stephen A. both put out statements because of the simple fact ESPN told them to. There was a problem. And the problem was Stephen A. Smith has an alliance with the president and the general manager, with Norby Williamson and all of those guys. And he wanted to take shots at Pat McAfee, talking about, well, I'm black, he's white. That's a difference. So when they had a conversation and they were just talking colleague to colleague, he had some choice words to say to Stephen A. Smith. You see, Stephen A. tried to say, oh, there was no conflict. Pat McAfee didn't say that. Pat McAfee said, oh, no, it's over. That thing's over with, it's done. He didn't say it didn't happen. Pat didn't say it didn't happen. You know why? Because Pat McAfee know it happened. But what didn't happen is Stephen A. Smith banning him from First Take. See, what happens is the people at ESPN who leaked this, because these are the guys that work for ESPN, they want to leak it because they want to put the story out there. The people that don't like Pat McAfee, they want to have these negative stories about Pat floating around. We need those negative Pat stories floating in the water so we can try to sabotage our own mission. They don't like the fact that Pat McAfee, right, is his own boss. He don't have to answer the protocol like the people that's signed and work for ESPN. He has his own team. He came through the door with his own team. Like what? It's my team. We got this. It's our turn. Thank you. We got this. And they doing their thing. They don't bother Sports Center. They don't bother First Take. That wasn't Pat McAfee's idea to do First Take. That was ESPN's idea to say, hey, let's boost the Pat McAfee show by having a run-in on Wednesdays, have him come in on Wednesdays, and then we'll shoo him in to the program. His show was on Wednesdays. They would have him on come in on Tuesday so that Shannon Sharp could be there, because Shannon Sharp was only doing 2 days a week. So after Tuesday, they'd be like, all right, we're going to, somebody else's turn. It ain't Shannon's turn. He's only here 2 days a week. Oh, Shannon Sharp got everybody running to start a podcast. It was slanderous at the time because everybody who was anybody, they looked and saw the work that was being done and was saying, okay, Bron's not playing tonight. He's injured. He's quote unquote injured. So he's not playing against Giannis. He knew, I'm going to sit this one out. So the Lakers are playing the Bucks. I would bet the Lakers tonight if I was gambling tonight. So you got to start adding these things up and putting it all together. And you start realizing what's happening. Stephen A. came out and went on his show today and told a damn lie. He came out there, tried to sugarcoat it and give you the PR version to what's going on between him and Pat McAfee. And it was just more Stephen A. BS. Did y'all hear that? Y'all didn't hear him?
A story that was printed just a couple of days ago in the New York Post where folks were alluding to some dispute that I allegedly had with my colleague at ESPN, Mr. Pat McAfee. It's a few things that are incredibly important to say. Number one, there is no dispute whatsoever. Pat McAfee is my teammate. Pat McAfee and I work together at ESPN. There is no banishment from First Take or any other show. He is more than welcome to come on First Take in the future, and I'm going to be more than welcome to come on his show.
And that's what's happening here, is he knows what's happening. You see, here's the situation. This wasn't about, oh, we finna have this debate, or oh, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this route. No, it wasn't about any of that. What this was about is people inside of ESPN, they really pissed off at Pat McAfee because he put them on blast. And they were like, dude, he talked about the brass tacks people and didn't get fired. You think Norby Williamson is going to let that slide? You think Norby Williamson, the president of the company, man, he don't have the power to discipline Pat McAfee? Oh. He loses authority in ESPN like that. Because now everybody's like, damn, I guess this dude really ain't all that. Oh, he ain't gonna like that. Him and his homeboys and his cronies, they're gonna go to their outlets. They're gonna go to New York Post. They're gonna post it in the Times. They're gonna do everything they can with their contacts they have nearby. And they said, well, why they want to sabotage their own work? Because it's not really theirs. They want him to be humble, to break down, but that's not what Pat McAfee's done. Pat McAfee's built his thing up on his own. Something Stephen A has never done, though he swears he's done it. And this show is it. It is not. This is why he's got to come out and do this now. Everybody he's talked about has built their thing up on their own. He hasn't built anything up on his own. That's why he's trying to do this show here after his third attempt. He was Stephen A's World, No Mercy. Now we got the Stephen A. Smith Show. Now he jazzed it up. Now he figured out, oh, this is what I need to do. I can't just talk about sports. I got to talk about all current topics because nobody cares about me. I got to do it like Kwame Brown did it. So now all of the people they complained about, they became. Yep. And now the situation is getting even more unclear. I would try, bro. The mind of Brady. Now, everybody look around and they say, man, Pat McAfee is his own man. And they said, oh, he called him an MFer and he got banned from ESPN. That's a super lie. He ain't never get banned from First Take. One, because Stephen A don't have the power to take that man off First Take. Even if he wanted him off. He can't tell him he ain't gonna be on there because it ain't really his show. ESPN would have to make that decision. And the only reason Pat McAfee ain't on there is because the NFL season is over. And they had him on basically for football. That was it. That was the only reason Pat McAfee's there. So when football season ain't there, that's the reason Pat McAfee ain't been there. But that's what they do. They cause the division. But yeah, there was an issue with when he came out and made a ridiculous statement about Pat McAfee's white and I can't do this because, I'm black, he's white, and he don't have the same rules and all this. And Pat McAfee and him had some words. Like, look here, mother effer. We need to get some things straight off the record. And that's what it was. Like, I don't work for you. I'm my own man. I don't know what you keep trying to go with this black and white thing, but I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I'm black. Like, what can you're the head guy. When Pat McAfee walked through the door, it's ESPN Stephen A. Smith. You the man. So what can't you do? And if you can't do something, then you should rethink about your career. You should be thinking, dude, you done been here like 30 years. Been here like a plant. And you ain't got no power. That's something you need to look in the mirror and say, what the hell have I done with my life? That's a what have I done with my life moment if I've ever seen one. That's the name of the game. He wants that pity. Stephen A wants that pity. Right. They all run that exercise in futility.
I don't know how many times I have to say this, but I'm going to try this one more time, not just relying on a statement or a quote that I issued through ESPN, but I'm going to look into the cameras and say this to you nationally and globally. I root for my teammates. I root for my colleagues. I don't root against anybody. The people out there who do that are idiots. A rising tide raises all boats.
I root for all my colleagues. Really? Really? You root for all your colleagues, but you sit out there every day. And guess what you do, Mr. I root for my colleagues? Guess what he does? He just sat there and said he roots for his colleagues, right? Guess what Stephen A. Smith do? He'll go out and do an interview on someone else's podcast and then talk about, oh, well, I can't be doing this. And, well, you know, I'm black. So, you know, you rooted for Max Kellerman? Because he ain't there no more. Did you root for him? Did you root for Jalen Rose? The one that said, who alluded to you selling out for money? Did you root for them? I root for my colleagues, but when Max wasn't here, who never said nothing bad about me, while he was gone, all I did was go on podcast shows talking about Max Kellerman, wrote about him in my book, talked about him like a dog in my book, and he still never said anything about you. Because you was mad. The general consensus believed Max Kellerman was more blacker than you. And when it was said by Terrell Owens on First Take, you were livid. You were livid. Max still hasn't said a word, and he's been chilling. He's been sitting back with his family, chilling, while you running around, lying, doing everything that you say you wouldn't do. That's what you've been doing. Just like you're doing now. Saying, oh, I support Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee ain't been there damn near 2-3 months, and already y'all done had about 2-3 blow-ups. Why is that? Why come you can't, or how come you can't contain yourself? They don't want the public to know the truth. They want to just make themselves look good. Thank you, bro. I appreciate the super chat. T.O. is the Football Hall of Fame, and what he did was bring everything to light. Stephen A. hates to be wrong. Stephen A. hates the fact that he is wrong. Stephen A. is one of those people who has to be right in the general public consensus. Because if they don't agree with what he agrees with, then he's going to throw a tantrum like a little spoiled child. He's sitting here and acting as if Pat McAfee is his best friend because ESPN told him, y'all better learn how to play nice, or Stephen A., you in trouble. What? What about? He just got here. We don't care. He's the money. So now you're doing all of this cleanup, right? Because Pat McAfee's sick and tired and didn't know how filthy ESPN actually was. Stephen A. is jealous and he's embarrassed at the fact Pat McAfee was able to bring his whole company over and get paid more money than him walking through the door. And everybody laughed at him because he acts like he's the boss. It's his company. He acts like he owns ESPN. You would swear to God he had stock in ESPN the way Stephen A. Smith talked. Yeah, my company, boy. Woo, we the best. We the best. Ain't been at a board meeting or nothing. They're going to be like, well, who is he? He's just an employee. You just the help. You the butler part 2. Stephen A. is the new butler. Oh, let me get that for you. Oh, Jimmy Pitaro. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I got my white gloves. I had to go back and get them. Oh, yeah, I made sure your glass is nice and clean. I just cleaned it twice. Oh, you want me to pour that for you? Oh, who we got coming today, sir? Who we got coming to the team? Oh, Pat McAfee, he's coming over. Oh, well, he's gonna help out. Oh no, y'all having a meeting? You want me to wait outside? Oh, no problem. My goodness, it's sad. It's really sad and pathetic because Pat McAfee came through and exposed everything we said was going to happen to him. And I said, this is how the beginning of the end. And now he's mad and he's like, yeah, they might not offer me. That's why I got to keep my options open. And now that's why you start dumping that money into that doggone show, because you was like, nah, I can't have egg on my face. When you come in there like, okay, I'm ready for my raise, and they're going to be, okay, raise your butt up out of here. Because we got Shannon Sharp. We can stick him in there with Pat McAfee. We really don't need you. You can go join Skip if you want. Now all we paying you is 10, and that's it. And they're gonna come now. You ain't in the controlling of the bargaining no more. You can hang your hat on my name is Stephen A. stuff all you want. Nobody's gonna care. And that's why I keep telling these people, man, nobody's gonna care when the chips is down. When the chips is down, they want to know one or two things. Are you saying something valid? What are you saying? Do you know what you're talking about? Absolutely not. This fool Stephen A. Smith said that they asked him about Nas and Eminem. Let that sink in, y'all. They asked Stephen A. Smith about Nas and Eminem. Which one was better? And he said, I'm going to take Eminem because of longevity. This is why you don't talk to Stephen A. Smith. He's from Hollis, Queens. And he said he's taking Eminem over Nas because of longevity. If I was there, I would have went to jail because I'd have slapped Stephen A. right in his face. I would have slapped Stephen A. right in his face for saying the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. How in the world would you say Eminem when Nas been in the game way longer than him? Nas been in this game since like 92. The hell are you talking about? And he just released 3 albums. He had like 6 albums in 3 years? And you want to talk about longevity? He's still active. Eminem ain't put out an album in like 5 years. The hell is this man talking about? Stop talking to Stephen A. Smith. That's what people need to do. Stop asking him things that's way out of his category. Oh, AJ won the fight? That's what's up. No. Oh, yeah. Stephen A is always going to do that. But yeah, they had to get that addressed. Dog, you come out and you talking about he white and I'm black and that why I can't do nothing. Dude, Pat McAfee ain't been in your way. Why would you even do? That's unfair to even do to him. Why are you throwing him under the bus? If he was white in there and you came and joined the company and he started throwing you under the bus as you was the reason he couldn't get something, he been there 20-some years, you'd be looking at him crazy. So I understood how he would feel like, damn, dog, I just got here. I ain't getting your way. Why the hell you like, well, Pat McAfee's white and I'm black. So, like, Pat McAfee is only getting stuff because he's white. Is that what you were saying? So that's why Pat McAfee had to have that conversation with you and straighten your ass out. But you think that you would be man enough to sit here and correct yourself and actually address that situation. But you know you're not, because you're a lying little bug. That's all you do is sit here and lie and cover up and he's my buddy. Yeah, he ain't your goddamn buddy. He had to set you straight. Because you was talking out your ass again on somebody else's show.
If you succeed, I succeed. I cannot tell you how thankful and grateful I am to Pat McAfee.
How grateful you are? Whoa! Why are you talking about how grateful you are for? Huh? I can't tell you how grateful I am for Pat McAfee. You gotta bow down and kiss the ring. That's what you grateful for. You grateful you still got a job. You still got that job. Still working at the steel mill. All the live long day. Still working at the plant. Right. Still on the plantation, boy. Look at him. I can't tell you how grateful I am for him. That ain't what you were saying on Homeboy show. You said Pat McAfee white, I'm black. That's the difference. You know, he ain't got to be political. He ain't as polished as me, but he ain't got to be. He's white. I'm black. Oh, wow. You just singled out Pat McAfee for no reason. So he wanted to talk to you so he could straighten you out. Oh, yeah, it's going to be a lot of stuff they don't like about me this week. No reason. Brought him up for no reason. It was like, what is he doing this for? We were all sitting there confused as to wondering what the hell is he even bringing it up for? I was stunned. We were all like, kind of like, damn, why? You know, like none of it made sense. You ever see somebody do something that just make no damn sense? It made no sense for him to bring up Pat McAfee's name except for ego. He is jealous. He likes to compete. So anybody that likes to compete with people, they are so competitive, even with people they're working with, their own colleagues. He listens to my videos. Stephen A. Smith is a narcissist. He listens to every time somebody is saying his name, especially Kwame Brown. He keeps talking about me. Oh, I've been talking about you too. You ain't gonna mention that though. Because you know, you give me any kind of life or breath, I'm on your back. Black Table speaks. Right. And then it all come back full circle.
To Shannon Sharp, to Ryan Clark. The list goes on and on. Individuals who had the courage to go out there on their own and create a platform, which ultimately evolved into a business that they could then monetize, because you have linear networks and others willing to come on board and pay them for their content, thereby enabling them to get paid while being independent contractors and business owners without necessarily being employees.
Exactly. Exactly. Not like, there it is. That's your answer right there. He just explained it. That's why I'm jealous. That's what you should say. That's why I'm jealous, because they went out there and got all their stuff independently, and then they got money coming in. Then they came in as independent contractors, and now they got a job, and they getting money out of ESPN, and they still getting their other bread everywhere else. And I came in here this way, holding on to this one goddamn job like it was going to be here forever. Now everybody coming in, and I want to get more money, and I ain't going to be able to get it. That's why I'm jealous. Now I'm trying to play catch up. Now I'm going in reverse. Now I'm going to try to get my Stephen A. Smith show going. And here I come, Stephen A. Smith show. I'm going in reverse. Yeah, that's why you trying to pivot. You trying to do your show now. See, we all know what you doing, buddy. You ain't fooling us one bit. You can fool everybody else, but you ain't fooled us one bit. Exactly, Troy. When you heard that, you almost threw up in your mouth. Jealous because he is still waking up every morning trying to make his boss more money. And worried about how much money he making his boss. And just hoping the boss put some in his hands. I heard that. That was the most Samboist thing I've ever heard in my life. I said, oh my God. I'm like, boy, it's like Paul Mooney. We're never going to play the Rambos until we stop playing the Sambos. My goodness. It's terrible. Of course, he was on Blog Talk Radio back then because that was the only thing he could do. When they snatched him off ESPN, that boy, he was so lost. He was on CNN working in a cubicle. He didn't know what to do. He was out the business, and he didn't know what was going on. And look how he did Jalen Rose. Money changed people, man. And ego and everything. Stephen A., they teased him. That's why he went and got in shape, because everybody was teasing him, making fun of him on the screen, looking all out of shape and big old pot belly, looking like an ostrich, sitting up there with them long, skinny, super skinny legs, skinny arms. He was just looking all pathetic, just standing in the water. I'm like, oh man, this old man, somebody need to just put him to bed. And that girl that's sitting there with him, like, as long as he don't, he can go on and croak now. I get the money. So we knew he didn't need ESPN. He was the only one that he believes he needs it. Oh, no. He holding on to ESPN like the side of a car door. No, I'm holding on. Let me let go. You don't need ESPN. Yeah, I do. Don't tell me what I need. Just for a little bit longer. Come on, let's go. I can take ESPN with me. Number one show for 12 years. Man, this dude, he ain't going down without a fight. That dude is going to fight to the death for a company that ain't his. Bragging about a show, it ain't his. He can't take it nowhere. He can't say, I'm taking First Take with me nowhere. ESPN owns First Take. Not Stephen A. Smith. So he ain't got shit when you talking about, we got the number one show. No, ESPN has the number one show. Absolutely. That's why I always say shouts out to Kwame Brown Bust Life, because Kwame was put this boy in his place. Subscribe to him. All y'all hit this like button and subscribe to this page. Hit the we're gonna get down on this on the Patreon too. Patreon, we're gonna light it up. We're gonna light it up and strike it up. But I gotta get ready for an exclusive interview. So we're gonna get ready to get everything cracking. LeBron James ain't playing tonight, y'all. LeBron James ain't playing tonight. So y'all know that's all up in the air and all that stuff. So don't even trip on that. Yeah, they ain't playing tonight. So love, peace, and hair grease. I'm out. Deuces.